Before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel The Part. Starts with Nazar and Nikki, who was kidnapped by Zane so she wouldn't attend Ace's birthday party. He goes to talk to her, telling her she's making things difficult for herself. Like Nikki said, love is poison. And unfortunately, she made it harder for herself by falling for the wrong person at the wrong time and place. That's why she confronts him, asking how he can say it's wrong. She sees that he's upset because they're together, and he sees that their love is right. She sees it in him, but he can't let her go. That's why she's surprised, because he doesn't want her to leave. So, he tells her it's not in their best interest to go to the party, and that he didn't want to be an obstacle in their relationship. But she points out that they were against the relationship from the beginning. He tells her she doesn't have to go to the party, because Ace will tell everyone everything about their relationship, and he's doing this for her sake. If he does all that, they'll cut him out of his power, and everything he'd tried to achieve would be lost, and he'd be less than anyone else. Would she allow this to happen to Ace? Because despite the ongoing war, they still respect Ace. And respect means power. If he loses that power, the balance he's built between the gangs will be gone. She surely knows what will happen next because their enemy, the other gang, has become much stronger than them. Anas is the one who's managed to control everything in this university, and he's their shield. Without him, they're nothing. If she leaves Ace, they'll leave him alone and won't get involved anymore. That's what she decides to do, leave him alone. He trusts her this time and lets her go because she's the only one who can save Ace in the university. She does go free and runs away. When they stop her, Nikki lets her go, and she goes to Nazar. They're waiting to see what she'll do. But whatever her decision is, they continue their plan, and he's the one who will save Ace himself. Suddenly, Luke arrives, and they don't know where he's been. Nazar wants to go and keep an eye on the people, because they need more protection than ever before. When he brings up Sir Matt, he yells at him because it's his job in the gang, and he can't let them down again. Meanwhile, Zane is sitting with her when she arrives, looking very sad. She cries with her, hugs her and comforts her, not telling her what's going to happen. But Zane encourages her because they can handle anything. That's why she remembers Ace's words about her coming to the party and dancing with him in front of everyone. Because that's his biggest dream. She doesn't know what to do at all. So the day passes with Zane, who appears at the university. Zane comes and wants her to come too, the student dorms, but she makes an excuse to go work. Suddenly, Roxanne arrives and immediately insults her, telling her that everyone knows about her and Ace and thinks she's bad. Zane is very upset because she managed to seduce their leader, and that's why she goes to tell them that anyone who talks about her will face severe punishment. She's the queen of this university, ranked 4th, and she always scares everyone. Roxanne is always abandoned, and Roxanne tells her that she won't be an exception at this university. Roxanne tells her about Samantha, because she's been very upset with her from the beginning. She didn't see Samantha in her because she was the only friend she had at this university and thought she wouldn't leave her alone, because she left her alone. She hates her and everyone at this university, and she's very affected by this. So we go to Nazar and Nikki, who are celebrating at the party. She keeps going and watching Ace. He's standing alone, waiting for Zane to arrive. Of course, Van, Matt, and Dave are there too, along with Dean and all her friends. Ace keeps waiting for Zane to arrive, and Lena does, and he's happy. He was so overwhelmed and couldn't believe she was coming. He told her she was beautiful and he was so happy she was here. She hugged him and wished him a happy birthday. He noticed she wasn't feeling well, and wished he could listen to her. After the night was over, she confessed her love for him, and he told her he loved her too, saying he'd never loved anyone in the world. She hugged him, deeply moved, and cried because she knew it would break his heart. Meanwhile, Nazar, Nick, and Matt were watching them. Zane went to focus on him, and he told her he wanted to kiss her but felt something was wrong. Zane told him she loved him too, but they had to stop. They were both hurting from being apart, even though he was willing to do anything for her. She couldn't bear to cause him pain or stay like this because they didn't have to be together just because they loved each other. After a while, he's done. But he doesn't want that, because he wants to declare his love for her in front of everyone, and she needs to trust him. She confirms this because she trusts him and can't bear all this, so she refuses to let him near her at all. That's why he decides to give her a second chance. If she takes 10 steps away from him, he'll forget everything between them. But if she looks at him before she finishes those 10 steps, he'll consider it her agreement to be with him. She starts taking the first step and remembers the first time they met. The second time when Onal was about to hit her, and he defended her, took her in, cared for her, and made her his secretary. She takes the third step while crying a lot, and the fourth step when he ate food and had an allergic reaction because of her, and because he listens to her in everything and was with her. They keep remembering everything that happens between them. But on the fifth step, step 1 remembers the time he approached her and helped her, and her heart began to beat for him more than ever before. Step 6 remembers when she was about to die, and he came and defended her immediately, caring for her and staying with her through her illness. Step 7 remembers being with her, protecting her and reassuring her because, as long as they were together, he would be with her. And she would be everything to him in life, and he wouldn't lose anything as long as she was with him. Step 8 remembers when she was in surgery, and he went to her side and showed her that he would be her shield and her knight, the one who would protect her from everything. Step 9 remembers when she went to him weak and left Matt behind, running to him because she couldn't bear to fight for anything else anymore. He tells her that he will always fight for her, and he tells her that he knows how to fight for her, even to the death. That's why she confesses her love for him and thanks him for everything, crying bitterly and straightening up. 10 steps and she is exhausted, and because of this, he tells her that he wants her to be happy, and happy forever, whatever her decision, so she is not afraid of anything. And this is considered a farewell for him, and he confesses his love for her, and she cries a lot for him, and he is also affected, and this separation will be very difficult for them already. So he passes the day with Yasin, who arrives with Zayn to work, and they look at each other, because they are now the boss and his secretary, and nothing more. They meet at Violet's and learn that she had warned Ace before, and she brought them to announce Ace's removal from the presidency. Kat and Onel reject this because it is a lot of work for the university, and they should ignore all of this. Because of this, you know that they should not have any emotions with him and confront them that these rumors are actually true. I see from their looks that there is something going on between them. And that's why Zayn says that there is nothing wrong with him. There is nothing wrong with them at all. And it is enough to say that they are not stupid because they are always together. Which makes Zayn say that Fi is the secretary of this hell they're in. That's why they ask Fi if she's ever tried on a guy before, and he's waiting for her answer. But she denies ever loving him. And they see this as proof that the rumors are completely untrue. That's why Philo is suspending Ace for another week, and they're shocked. Fazan goes alone, crying, and unable to believe what happened because she's trying to protect Ace at any cost, even at the expense of protecting their feelings in this place, which doesn't even acknowledge them. Faiz goes to her while she's crying and tells her that what hurts the most is being rejected by the girl he chose and how she could abandon him so easily. This confirms what she says, and he wants to know if she really loved him, like she said yesterday. That's why Fi tells him that no one can tolerate him because he's a heartless man, like the devil, so it's better for him to stay away from her. That's why he makes her one last request. He approaches her crying and begs her to fight, not just for him, but for her friends and herself. He tells her not to undress for him, reminding her of his promise to be her shield and knight, and that no matter what, she must be his queen. He touches her and gives her one last kiss. They both cry and he leaves. She decides to fight not for herself or her friends, but for him. She'll do anything to make him her king. She cries uncontrollably as time passes, and she says that he's been gone for a long time and the students aren't comfortable without him. From time to time, she tries to find him, working amidst the watchful eyes of her killer, who tells her she made the right choice and thanks her for saving Ace. Because of her, Philo's plan failed. Philo had been waiting for any opportunity to get rid of Ace but couldn't because he was important to the students. However, when Philo arrived, she used her to put pressure on Ace and to further her plan, and her son, Liam Rivera, is appointed in Ace's place, shocking Zayn. After finishing the chapter, she leaves and focuses on Liam Rivera, Violet's son. She doesn't see him as a villain and wants to know the truth about him. She goes to the library and reads about the university's stories and the existence of a secret lab. She's really thinking about it, so she buys time and finishes her chapter. Suddenly, the Nightmaster comes and tells her that time has passed. They know the formula, and soon they'll do what they have in mind. They won't be able to do anything, and he wants her to do something to stop it without getting hurt. He leaves her to think. She stays in the classroom, lost in thought, and she has Ace's dagger with her. Grun comes to her, startling her. He asks her who gave her the dagger because he doesn't know the symbol. And it's Reese's symbol. He doesn't want to hide anything from her, because he's part of God's warrior demon gang, and you'll find out everything later. Don't let Fan know any of this, or she'll get hurt. He leaves her very confused, so she walks away, thinking that the Germ and Matt joined the gangs to save them. She arrives and finds Matt sitting and drinking. She's surprised by him and sits with him, telling him she's fine now, but he sees the opposite. He knows she's laughing to hide her feelings, and that she's going through a lot. If he could take that pen from her, he would immediately. That's why she asks him why he didn't help her, and that's why he tells her he thought about balance and their need for Ace. Besides, he doesn't want to be seen in front of her at all, and she should follow her heart to find peace. This makes her more active, and she tells him she's sure he'll find the right girl for him. That's why he says that Zayn won't find another Zayn, and she thinks he'll find someone better. He gives her a drink and they both cry. The day passes, and Zayn arrives, but as usual, she doesn't find Ace. Basil tells her he left her and laughs at her. He tells her he's seen him before and that the queen has to be perfect, like the president. He influences her, and she leaves immediately. He doesn't like her at all. She goes to her favorite place and reads this book until she falls asleep sitting up. Time passes and night falls. She wakes up to find Ace, who takes her and tries to escape with her, but they forcibly take him and separate them. She keeps screaming for him, wanting to reach him. But of course this is a nightmare. The cat comes to wake her up and she stays there all night. She leaves, and there's no one at the university at all. He's with the dagger, and suddenly Rice comes and snatches him away. The part ends here. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, everyone, so you don't miss the next part. Stay tuned.